Is it big news or news you already know? It's the Real Estate Show. Welcome to the Real Estate Show. My name is Rick Naples. I am the owner-broker of Zone Realty LLC. You zone your home, a virtual real estate company. Now let me define what a virtual real estate company is. That basically means is I do not have a physical office location. So you say to yourself, okay Rick, you don't have an office location, so how do I know you're for real? Well, I am for real. I am a practicing realtor. I've been in the business for over 20 years helping buyers and sellers with their real estate transactions. The reason why I decided to close my office location is because no one comes to the office. Everything is done virtually, pretty much done over the internet. Now, except for the initial meeting that I might have with you as a buyer or a seller, either at your place or out in the field someplace, there's really no reason to get together at an office. We can do all our signing of paperwork, we can do all our negotiations and so on and so forth using the tools that are available to all realtors. Now, having said that, when it comes time for you to buy a home or to sell a home, who do you work with? What do you do? I mean, you know the process of buying a home and how to prepare to buy a home, getting all your things in order and making sure that you talk to a mortgage officer and go over your debts and income and make sure you can afford something. But who do you work with? There are literally thousands of realtors out there right now that are there to help people find a home to buy or help them sell a home to a buyer that wants to buy it. Who do you choose? How do you choose? What are the guidelines? Do you work with a big agency? Do you work with a small agency? Do you work with a firm that has hundreds of thousands of agents? Do you work with a small little local place? Real estate is a people's business. In other words, you work one-on-one with a person. Now, that person may work for a real estate firm, could be a large firm or a small firm. They may be licensed in multiple states or licensed just in one state. But the person you choose to work with is the person that you're going to put in trust of to help you with the largest purchase you may make in your lifetime, or to sell the biggest asset you have in your lifetime. As I said, there's lots of realtors to go out there, and I always advise, don't be afraid to interview a few. I mean, you want to do business with someone you like, and that's not really big news, that's common sense news. You want to do business with someone you can trust, and that's not big news, that's common sense news. And you want to work with a professional who knows what they're doing. The real estate transaction is quite confusing for someone that doesn't do it every day. It's also a very risky transaction because I've seen a lot of people try to sell their homes on their own, and after they've completed the transaction, they've realized they've probably left a lot of money on the table. They probably could got more money for the house. Again, hiring a professional is not big news. It's something we all consider doing. I mean, after all, if you have to go to court, you don't want to go to court without an attorney. If you have to build something that requires zoning or coding or whatever, you're going to hire a contractor who's licensed and knows what they're doing, correct? So when it comes to real estate, you want to look at hiring a realtor. But it's like I said, who do you hire? What are the criteria? What do you look for in a realtor when you're going to entrust this person to handle a real estate transaction for you? I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes, but first I thought we'd take a look at this little presentation I put together about just the real estate situation. When you're looking to buy or sell a home, you're going to work with a professional, and that professional should be a realtor. Now, the realtor is trained in the transaction of buying and selling a home. They've also developed over the years the number of contacts of the people that you're going to need to get involved in order to make that transaction get to a closing. In other words, attorneys, home inspectors, appraisals, mortgage companies, all these different people that get involved to get a transaction to come to the end. So who do you hire? Who do you trust? Who do you work with? I always like to advise folks, feel free to interview realtors. I mean, if you were a boss and you had a business and you were going to hire someone to be an employee, you're going to interview them, correct? You want to make sure they're going to fit the job that needs to be done. So don't be afraid to go out and interview. Invite a realtor to your home. Meet a realtor at the coffee shop somewhere and just talk a bit. See how things go, how things feel. I mean, after all, you're going to be with this person when it comes to looking at houses negotiating on a house to buy, or better yet, if you're looking for a house to sell, you want to make sure that this realtor has the expertise in being able to market your home to the widest range of buyers possible. What other criteria do you want to look at when you're looking to hire a realtor? Well, you want to look for a realtor, not a real estate agent, a realtor. Now, what's the difference? Don't all real estate agents, aren't they all the same? Well, no, they're not. A realtor is someone who follows a strict code of ethics in the professional life that they lead. In other words, they're following guidelines that are set forth by the National Association of Realtors. This helps set them aside from your run-of-the-mill real estate agent that's out there. Now, of course, they know how to do all the paperwork, they know all the ins and outs of the real estate market in their area. They go through a lot of training, education, trial and error, however you want to describe it, to gain that experience. And one of the things that you'll find that if you work directly with a realtor, but also someone who's a broker, the broker has gone the next step in their education level to provide you with the ultimate service in being able to buy or sell a home. So I'm saying not all realtors are the same. Not all real estate agents are realtors. You want to interview people. You want to get to know them a little bit before you make your choice. Now, I've been asked, well, I have a friend that has a real estate license, or I have a relative that has a real estate license. Why not just work with them? Why do I need to go through the process of interviewing a bunch of realtors and having all these strangers to talk to? Real estate is a people business. You want to work with someone you're comfortable with working with. So by all means, if that friend is someone you're comfortable with working with, or that relative is someone you're comfortable with working with, then by all means, hire them, work with them. I'm just saying be cautious, because not all realtors or real estate agents are the same. Now, there's a lot of people that get involved in the real estate industry, and all they're in the business for is they want to turn a quick buck. They want to make some sales, they want to make some high commissions. They really don't care about you or what your goals are. So you want to be careful not to choose anyone that is in the business for themselves and not going to put you first. And that's the whole name of the game here. You're the one that's going to be selling your home. You're the one that's going to be buying the home. You're the one that should come first. Your needs, your expectations should be met in that transaction. So again, you want to work with someone that's going to be able to accomplish that goal for you. Let's take a look at this little presentation. I'll be back to talk some more with my thoughts on this kind of big news. There are a lot of things that are going on in the real estate market. You know, housing prices have been kind of tough. They've been going up, going up, going up. Interest rates were rising quickly. We're not seeing the interest rates that we saw, you know, a couple of years ago. I mean, now they're averaging over 7%. Although there are some folks out there that are saying the interest rates will start to steady and they might even come down a little bit. I don't know, we'll see. But for the first-time buyer that's out there, the interest rate's the interest rate. The key here is, what can you afford? What is going to be the price range that you can shop in? Now, you don't want to get involved with looking at houses that are out of your reach. You don't want to try to look at a house that you may not be able to afford. There's a lot that's involved, so you want to talk to a mortgage officer, first of all, to see what you qualify for. Because I'm going to tell you something, if you're looking to buy a house now, there are so few houses that are on the market. There's a lot of competition for them. So when a seller is looking at buyers who are making offers on their homes, they're going to look at those buyers that are serious, not the ones that are just throwing offers out there. They're going to look at what the offer is, how the offer is structured, and does that buyer have the capability of closing on that deal? In other words, have they already been through the different things they've had to accomplish to be able to obtain a mortgage in order to close on that house? And you know, most transactions are going to be financed, so that's a very important step. You also want to make sure that when you're going through these steps, you have someone that's guiding you through them. You want someone that you can be, have as your confidant, somebody that you can talk to about different things in different situations. Now, I talked on a past real estate show about what I call the practice of the wants and the needs list. You have to be able to decide what you want in a home as to what you need in a home and where the trade-offs are going to be. And this is where a realtor can really be helpful. Sitting down with a realtor and talking about these different things may give you a good idea on where to go or how to approach making an offer on a house that you find you're interested in. Now, there's a little saying, if you can find a home that fits 85% of your expectations, in other words, 85% of your criteria, as far as number of bedrooms, bathrooms, location, and so on and so forth, buy it. Don't hesitate, buy it. Don't look for the perfect home in the perfect spot at the perfect price. Life's not perfect. There's going to be challenges. And even if you did buy a brand new home, new construction, that was perfect, had everything you could possibly dream of, and you were able to afford it, I almost guarantee you that once you get in that home, you're going to have to make some changes. You're going to make some adjustments. You're going to have to repair a few things, because there's nothing perfect out there. There are some close ones, but very few and far in between. Let's take a look at this presentation, and I'll be back with some final comments here on the Real Estate Show. I'm talking about big news. And what I'm considering big news is that there are a lot of realtors out there. There's a lot going on in the economy. There's a lot happening with home prices. There's things happening with interest rates, jobs out there, situations changing all the time. It's an interesting world that we live in. You need to find someone to help you navigate through all the smoke and dust. Someone who is going to be your confidant. Someone you can professionally trust to handle one of the biggest transactions you're probably ever going to be involved in. There are a lot of realtors out there to choose from. Some have a lot of education, some have minor education, some have done a lot of transactions, some have done a few transactions. Some belong to big real estate agencies that have hundreds of agents and hundreds of offices. And some are small little agencies that are very local and work one-on-one with their clients. You're going to have a lot of choice. You want to take your time, you want to interview agents, you want to develop a relationship to work with someone that you feel is going to be able to do the job that you need to be done. My name is Rick Naples, and this is The Real Estate Show. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
Nick Augustino right here at the East Side Restaurant. We always have the complete full dinner menu. Knockwurst, bratwurst, sauerbraten, potato pancakes, red cabbage, rice pudding, cream pies, all the desserts that Germany had to offer. I always do something different. Yes, I do. I brought seafood to the beer garden at the East Side Restaurant. East Side Restaurant, your German destination restaurant in Connecticut. Tiki-taka, tiki-taka, hoi, hoi, hoi!
I'm your host, Kurt Barwis. Today, I have a very special guest, Dr. Andrew Lin.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name's Chuck Wooden.
Decision for ourselves for this week, if we want to be made well.
Hi, welcome to the Crack of Dawn. It's Dawn Lombardi. I'm starting the painting. It's going to be the clips with some water. Love it.
He took me on the sets of Lost in Space, Batman.
Everybody has a story. What's yours? Until next time,